Hello YouTube, this is Josh from the Pantek brothers, and I am back with another video with Planet Coaster. This is the second day it has been out. I did a quick, just little brief intro about the game and ran through, just looked around on one of the scenarios in the career mode. And today I wanted to get back and look a little bit more into the interface, what's available, and then in the next video probably actually start the official Let's Play through this series. Go back and play through where we left off, which I think was Creature Awakens. Actually, no, I didn't save it yesterday, actually. But I will open up one of the other scenarios, Pirate Battle, that I had started working on before release, and that way I can show you what I've done and kind of walk through what's available in the interface and the different menus. Since this is a scenario, you don't have everything unlocked like you do in the sandbox mode. However, you unlock things as you progress, and I noticed I'm not sure if it was because I was playing in the beta as much as it was a scenario, not everything was unlocked. And see, as you can see, I've gotten all three of the difficulties: easy, medium, and hard. Easy was attract 800 guests and build 2 rides. Medium was attract 900 guests and build 4 rides, and then hard was attract 1100 guests and reach a monthly profit of 10,000. Let me zoom out here and you guys get a better idea. I left this one off. I was in the middle of building a new coaster. But basically, this scenario starts off with this kind of Pirate Cove lagoon, this wooden coaster, and I think one of these smaller little thrill rides. And so everything else is my creation. This coaster, wooden coaster, custom built, and then as well as this castle. This took a long time to make. You can see kind of because path goes through these kind of entryways. In the courtyards there's a couple food places as well as a bathroom, and then the queue for this roller coaster, which is a prefab design of the game, not a custom built coaster, but obviously the queue in the building that the coaster starts out in is all built by me. So let's dive into a little bit more of the menus here. Upper left hand corner is kind of the help, gives you the basic controls. Select, left mouse button. The camera controls, WASD, kind of move the camera around, but then right click and hold, you can drag, and then both left and right mouse button held down rotates the camera, and then mouse wheel zooms in and out. The little bell here is your notifications of what's going on, and then you can filter them by, the important ones are the red exclamation marks, rides, staff, shops and facilities, guests, park management. Kind of give you a good idea of the most important things that are going on, notifications of what's broken down, staff that's unhappy, your monthly spending and financial report comes in here, and then there's your objectives, the easy, medium, hard, and then what you've accomplished so far. Along the bottom you have your monthly financial statement, giving you a breakdown of income for rides and tickets, shops and facilities, and park management, whether that's not negative or positive depending on how much income is being pulled in versus expenditures. And then you have your park rating overall. I'm still learning about how this is calculated. You have your ride rating, your scenery rating, your park balance bonus, your marketing bonus, and your guest happiness. So the ride rating, I'm guessing, is maybe a combination. If you open up a specific ride, and these are your test ratings. I'm not sure if this is a combination of these numbers combined overall to create this ride rating combined for all the rides that are in the park. I'm not sure. The scenery rating, you can see for each individual ride, there's in the lower right hand corner, there's this tree, and that's the queue scenery rating. So if you just have a queue, you don't put any decorations or scenery around the queue, that number is much lower. So the higher it is, the better the happiness, I guess, of the guests while they're in line for the ride. It gives the ride an overall higher rating. And then park balance bonus, I'm guessing you get a bonus if you're in the positive every month versus in the red. Marketing bonus, I'm guessing if you pick different marketing strategies, you get different bonuses based on how the different types of guests respond to those marketing promotions. And then overall guest happiness. So, and then continuing along the bottom, you have total number of guests, and it breaks it down into adults, teens, and families to get your total number of guests. Then you have your undo and redo buttons. You can manually set the time, so it's always at a specific time of day. This is very helpful for building, because at nighttime it gets kind of difficult to see grids and where you're trying to line things up at. Then obviously your time of day, and then if you mouse over it, it changes to month and year. And then your play, pause, and the change simulation speed. Moving up one level in the bottom is Park Management tab. This is where all the detailed information about your park is displayed, and it breaks it up into different tabs: overview, finance, research, marketing, staff, guests, and attractions and shops. Within the overview, it kind of gives you a guest summary, staff summary, and a ride summary, and kind of gives you an idea of the number of each in each of those different categories. And then it gives you a breakdown of the most important information kind of for each of the sections, most profitable rides and shops, what you're currently doing for marketing and researching, and then your guest top thoughts and percentages of those. You also get some nice graphs that you can customize, take away different parts to kind of give it get a bigger picture of your financial situation with your park. You have a ticket price section, and when you actually click on the entryways, you can actually adjust when you open and close the standard price for a single ticket versus a price for a family pass. And there's two families of thought here. You can do kind of like the big theme parks in real life do, Disney, Universal, those type of places. Charge a set fee for entry, but all the rides are free. Versus in here, by standard, it's kind of always been you don't charge anything to get in, but then each of the rides cost money. So, and then you also have park stats, kind of the same thing that's in this bottom little section on the next to the star. That number shows you the same information here. The finance balance book kind of really gives you a breakdown of everything, what's costing what per month, so you can get an idea where all your money is going to. Loans, you take out new loans based on, I think, your available amount of money. I'm not sure. And then kind of gives you these graphs again specifically for the financial section. Research. As you progress through the game, you have different opportunities to research different aspects of the park to unlock new items, whether it be coasters, track rides, regular thrill rides, or gentle rides, and then shops and facilities broken down by, food, drink, gifts, first aid, bathrooms, and you can unlock those kind of canned buildings that come with it versus building your new ones. And this kind of gives you an idea of what you've researched in the past, and what they were, how long it took, and how much it costs. And then marketing. This is where you can start a marketing campaign. You can pick different ones. You have 3 different newspaper options, 3 different TV options, and 3 different kind of like online options. Each one targets a different part of the population, so teens, adults, and families. And so each one gives you different bonuses based on which one you select for their target audience. And then again, marketing history, showing you your history of your different marketing campaigns, and then showing you the result of those campaigns, the park rating bonus. So you can go back and kind of see a history of what's been helpful and what hasn't really worked. So obviously the higher the rating boost, I'm assuming the more successful it was. So if you continue to do ones that are successful, it'll help with your park attendance, bringing in that specific target audience. Staff. This is where you hire the different staff types. Again, I haven't unlocked all of them. There's more. I know there's more entertainers. I'm not sure if there's more different types of maintenance people, but right now there's only janitors and mechanics. And then it breaks down each by type, and then you can see your happiness. You can locate them on the map, and it brings up a detailed panel of that specific employee, and it gives you their pay, their training level. This is also where you can create work rosters, and if you haven't played the game or haven't seen anybody play it and set these up, these are basically creating sections of the park, or specifically selecting rides or shops and facilities that specific person or persons will take care of or be responsible for. So you can have a mechanic just take care of like this specific section of the park. So they'd be responsible for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rides, and that's it. And so they would stay basically in this general area, so and only work on these rides. That way you don't have them wandering all over the park. And if you're on limited staff or funds, if they're at the very beginning of the park and something breaks down on the complete opposite end of the park, they don't have to walk the entire length of the path before it gets over there. It just helps ensure that your rides stay up longer, have better reliability, so since they're being inspected and maintained or refurbished and repaired quickly, and that queue doesn't have to continually be emptied and fill back up before people can get back on the ride, and obviously your income is affected the longer that you have a ride down. And it's going back into the work rosters. You can also set obviously shops and facilities for the janitors, so you can have them clean specific areas. I kind of broke this park down into kind of 3 different areas. I had kind of the Pirate Bay area over here, the castle area over here, and kind of what I was considering kind of like the carnival ride area over here. So as I get more fun, ideally I'd like to have a janitor and mechanic over here, a janitor and mechanic over here, and another janitor and mechanic over here. And then same with entertainers. You can designate a specific kind of area where they stay in, especially if you're liking to keep things together as far as theme goes. So I can have the pirate guy kind of entertaining people over here in the pirate area, and then pick something else over here. Right now I only have, I believe, the cow, or in the burger guy. Yeah, Chief Beef and Cosmic Cow. So that's kind of park management. Oh, well, yeah, your guest tab kind of breaks down each target audience, adult, teens, and family, showing their needs and wants, kind of how they're doing on a bar graph, as well as kind of their spending habits, getting an idea of where they're spending their money, what their thoughts are here, and then kind of give you the graphs of each of those different audiences. And then in the attractions and shops, kind of gives you an idea of obviously what's open, what's closed. I noticed that certain areas that aren't populated enough as far as guests go, shops and attractions can actually close if they don't have enough attendance and revenue coming in, and they'll just close themselves. Because I had one that kept closing by itself, and I couldn't figure out why. So then it gives you the attendance, the number of people who are coming through per month, and then it gives you a good idea on paper of what's actually producing money and what's not. So you could go in and maybe tweak the area, what it provides, the cost of it, to try to improve the amount of money that it's producing. I had another scenario. I was praying through a ride that just wasn't producing money month after month after month. It was always negative profit. And so I decided just to close it and delete it. It was costing me more per month to keep it open and repair it and maintain it than it was obviously bringing me in money, so it wasn't worth keeping around. Shops, facilities. Each of these, obviously, when you click on it, brings up a detailed panel, the finances of it, the cost, and the ratings of each of the shops. So that's Park Management tab. Then you have your blueprints. These are the custom rides or shops or buildings that you've created and saved. They'll show up here. I haven't actually created any. Coasters. These is where you build basically in the blueprint section the pre-made coasters. Click on it, put it out here, and then find a suitable place to build it. And then you can click on custom, and the types of coasters that you've unlocked, you can build a custom coaster from there. Track rides actually don't have any. These are kind of like the monorail, train, track rides that aren't thrill rides. These basically can be used more for transportation to get people around the park, especially in the larger ones as you build out bigger. Rides, these are kind of the thrill and gentle rides. These are the more of the family-friendly rides, as well as kind of the non-coaster rides that are exciting. Shops and facilities, this is where you will build all of the food, beverage, restrooms, first aid, ATMs, gift shops. And then as you unlock, you can build information booths that can provide fast passes to get through the queues quicker for guests. And then you can also build ticket booths and park entrance. And I'm not sure what is under other. I haven't actually gone through the sandbox and unlocked any of those. These are the prefabbed ones that are built around certain themes, and then you can unlock them as you progress throughout the game. And then you can build your own, which start off basically as just these little cubes, essentially, and then you build out around those. Next tab is scenery, and this kind of actually where all the building happens. I think is what is so special about this game, is the ability to really build things block by block, basically like I did with this castle. Took a lot of time to get through each of those pieces to build it all together. This is basically where you can look at all these different pieces, the props, nature, path extras, art shapes, special effects. There's blueprints, obviously, that come with the game that fit different scenes and themes. And in the custom sections, you get these filters where you can filter out scenario themes of pirate, fairy tale, planet coaster, western sci-fi, and then kind of the region, or so to speak, that desert, tropical, grassland, deciduous, alpine, gives you different looks for the trees and that type of thing that would be available in those different type of regions. And then the property, whether they have customizable sections, editable text like the signs, you can type in custom text in some of them. Some objects are triggerable, so a ride goes over a certain section, you can create a trigger that will set off like an animated prop, whether it be like a cannon or like explosions, that type of thing. And then these are specific to buildings. These are like prop buildings that don't necessarily have anything to do with a shop or facility, but they're just the more of scenery than anything else. But you can edit those and build something into them. So you could put down a custom shop or facility and put a building down and basically merge the two to create a custom shop. So that's kind of it. We also have paths, the last couple ones here. Path controls, kind of left click to create, right click to destroy. You can do angle snap, create the length by default, how long the path is when you first create it, and then the width as well, the larger paths versus the smaller paths. The material that's used for each of the paths. You can create natural paths, so it's just kind of like a dirt path with rocks on the boundaries. And then specifically for the queues that have the entrance and exits to the rides. And then finally, the terrain tool. This is kind of where you sculpt the ground and the terrain to create the different looks. Kind of built this little mountainous wall here to kind of divide and keep that ride secluded away from the backdrop of that other the coaster in the background. Obviously a lot of this was built using the custom tool, terrain tool. I created this little pathway through here. This was originally closed off in the original scenario, so I created kind of like this little tunnel area so the path can come up here and they can wind around up here. So to kind of dig that out and then put the path through. You can also create the different colors for the terrain, so, rocks and grass and dirt and sand, so depending on what you're trying to build. These are actually sculpting tools themselves. Push, pull, flatten the whole ground to a certain area. Chisel kind of gives you, is kind of like breaking away little pieces at a time. Smooth, and then roughen. Roughen kind of gives you kind of this natural look as you go over a piece of terrain. Makes it look like a little more natural, so it's not as like sculpted, perfect. Kind of look a little more like it's would naturally occur in nature. And that's pretty much it. There's also multi-select, so you can select multiple things all at the same time. But that is pretty much all the basics of the game. So I'm going to pause there, and now that you kind of have a good run through of the interface and everything that you can do, next video will be an actual Let's Play. So I appreciate you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed this run through of the interface. Let me know what you think. Leave your comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe. See you later.